Hello everyone, and welcome back to class. I hope you all enjoyed our first kind of introduction video. We're going to keep it going today, building off of what we learned in our previous video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I want you to make your way onto your mat, so go ahead and roll your mat down, and let's go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. This could be legs crossed, this can be legs out in front of you. If you need a little bit of support, or if you want to lift your hips up a little bit, you can put a rolled up blanket, maybe a pillow or a towel. Lifting up your hips might make it a little bit more comfortable for you, so feel free to do that if you would like. We are going to start today with a grounding technique. So just a couple of moments for us to settle into our body, to release the outside world, kind of just to prepare for the practice ahead. In order to get ourselves grounded, we're going to be using some breathing techniques. We're going to be learning a variety of different breathing techniques throughout this course, and they are called pranayamas. So pranayama is actually one word, but it is the combination of two words. So prana is our life force energy, and yama is the practice of. So just the practice of our life force energy, or the practice of breathing. So that's what pranayama means. So let's go ahead and get started. So the technique we're going to be using today is just a visualization technique. And what I want you to do is pick a color, any color. It can be white, it can be pink, it can be blue, it can be a sparkly color. Pick that color and watch that color as it moves through your nose, filling up your lungs, filling up your body with oxygen, and watch that color as it's released out of the body, moving its way out of the lungs and out of the nose. So you really want to focus as much as you can on visualizing that color moving in and out of your body. You're going to notice that your mind is going to want to wander. It's going to want to think about what you're going to have for dinner later or what you have to do after class. But do your best to kind of reel your mind back in. And this practice of it straying away and you bringing it back in, that's the practice of mindfulness. So don't get frustrated if you find your mind wandering, just reel it back in. That's totally normal. So let's go ahead and get started with our visualization technique. Pick that color. I want you to go ahead and close down your eyes. Make sure you're in a comfortable seat. You can also sit up against a wall if you want a little bit extra support. Keeping your eyes closed down, just imagine a string at the top of your head, just pulling you gently up towards the ceiling, just lifting that spine up just a little bit more. And watching that color as it moves in through your nose, filling up your lungs, filling up your belly. And exhale, watch that color as it's released out of your belly, out of your lungs, and out of the nose. Let's continue that for 5 more breaths. Inhale, breathe in your color. Let it fill up your body. And exhale, release the color back out the way it came in. 4 more. Inhale, breathing deeply. And exhale. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Are you still watching the color? Inhale deeply. Through the nose, the chest, the belly. And exhale from the belly, the chest, right back out the nose. Very good. So let's go ahead and continue getting started on our practice. We're going to move into some joint movements similar to what we've already learned. So just open and close the hands. We're going to do about 10 times, just stretching out the hands, getting them warmed up for our practice today. Good, and it's going to make some wrist circles, just some gentle wrist circles, both in the same direction, and after 10, we'll reverse the direction. And reverse. Good, and release. So we're gonna go ahead and bring our hands right out in front of us, palms up. Just go ahead and tap your shoulders 10 times here, moving into our elbows. Try to keep those elbows pointed forward. Just a little tap here on the shoulders. Still breathing. Notice if your breath gets short and shallow, try to elongate it just a little bit. Leave those fingertips on your shoulders. Let's go ahead and make some big circles with the elbows here. Bringing them together and opening them back up. Long, deep breaths. Just filling into the body here, waking it up. How is it doing today? Giving our joints some extra love. Go ahead and reverse the direction. Nice big circles there with the elbows. Go ahead and gently place the hands on the thighs here. We're going to take some neck stretches. So what we're going to do is just gently inhale and exhale. Take a peek over your right shoulder. Just taking a look behind us. So for the average individual, the most stretch that we get in our daily life is when we're looking over our shoulder to change lanes when we're driving. Inhale back to center, exhale, look over the other side. So try to make it a point in your practice or in your daily routine just to get a few neck stretches in there. Inhale back to center. Let's go to do it one more time. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, center, exhale. Over the opposite side once more. Good. Inhale back to center. We're going to make some circles with the nose, so go ahead and point it up towards the ceiling, over towards the right, down towards the chest, over towards the left. Nice and big, and you want to take it nice and slow here, so no rush. Nowhere else to be besides right here on your mat, so don't feel rushed. Staying with those long, deep breaths. Maybe taking a little slower in areas that may feel a little bit tight, or maybe they need a little more extra love. Spend a few moments in those spots, a few extra moments. And once you make it back up to the top, let's go ahead and reverse the direction here. Nice and slow, nice and easy, just feeling into the neck. Stay with that breath. Couple more here. Very good. Making it back up to the top and back to neutral with your gaze. Go ahead and inhale, bring those arms up overhead, and I want you to drop your left fingertips on the side of the body here. Okay, and then I want you to reach your right arm up towards the sky and just a gentle tilt over towards the left. So we don't want to be collapsing into the left side body. We want to stay lifted and upright. Your chest should be forward facing towards the screen. Inhale up. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Right fingertips come down, reach up, up, up until you gently begin to tilt it over. Opening up through that left hand side of the body. We're going to do this once more on each side. So go ahead and reach it up, inhale, left fingertips come down and reach it over towards the left. Keep the body upright, so we're reaching kind of towards the corner of the ceiling there, or the corner of the roof. Up, 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 up. Inhale, both arms up. Last time, switch sides, right fingertips down, left fingertips reach up towards the corner of the room there. Breathe into the left side body. Good. We're going to take a twist here. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead. And I want you to drop your left hand behind the back. Right hand gently comes on this knee here. So we're twisted over towards the left. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, maybe twist a little bit more. Maybe just look behind you just a little. Only if it feels good. Remember, we're never forcing anything. Only going to where our body feels good today. And maybe it'll change from day to day. Inhale, lift it up. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Right fingertips behind the back, left fingertips fall on the thigh. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, and exhale, take it just a little bit more into that twist. Never forcing or pushing farther than where our body wants to go, but just finding that edge and working where we're at. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist over towards the left. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twist just a bit more. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, switch. Last time here. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, take it a little bit further. Very good. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, release. So we're going to move into our wrists here, get our wrist a little bit more warmed up before we put pressure on them. So we did these stretches before. We're going to go ahead and place our hands on the ground or on your mat, whatever's most comfortable, palms facing down. I just want you to lean forward and rock forward for 10 repetitions. Nice and easy, just filling into those wrists, stretching them out. I'm on 5 here, so let's get 5 more. Staying with the breath. 2 and 1. Very good. Let's go ahead and flip the palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to press the tops of our hands on the ground here. And we're just going to hold here for about 10 seconds. So your fingertips should be facing each other. Only putting as much pressure as feels good for you today. Don't try to make it extreme or intense. We're just gently opening up the wrists here. And last one, we're gonna have our fingers facing back towards us, and the top of our wrist should be facing forward. So the top of our hands are on the ground. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. So we're going back and forth for 10 repetitions. Maybe adjusting the space, how far away it is your wrists are from your body if you need to. So just 10 repetitions, nice and easy. Very good. Last few here. Good. And release. Just gently shake out the hands and the wrists there. We're going to keep it going, so we're going to go on to all fours. So that means our hands are underneath our shoulders and our knees are underneath our hips. I'm going to go ahead and show you from the side here. So our hands are underneath our shoulders and our knees are underneath our hips. One key point about our hands, we should have our hands nice and wide. We don't want our fingers together. That's going to put a lot of pressure into our wrists. So make sure our fingers are nice and wide and we're using all 10 fingers to grip the mat there and to distribute the weight. So check with your hands, make sure they're nice and wide, pushing pressure into all 10 fingers. Make sure your hands are not too close to the body, because as you can see, if they're too close, we're going to have too much bend of the wrist there and it probably will get uncomfortable. So make sure you're right underneath the shoulders there. Let's move on to our knees. Our knees are underneath our hips. We should have some space in between our legs. Our legs should not be touching. So once we're here in this tabletop position, we're going to move through our cat-cow. So go ahead and drop our belly, point our tailbone, inhale, lift. Go ahead and exhale, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes together. Chin comes towards your chest and squeeze your stomach up towards the sky. We're going to do 5 more. Inhale as you lift into cow. Point your tailbone. Inhale, lift your gaze just a bit. Exhale, point your tailbone towards the ground. Squeeze your glutes together, chin to chest. Hollow out your belly. Let's move through 4 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, under. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, under. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale it under. Good, and release. So that should feel really good for you, for your spine. You should feel some movement in your spine. We're gonna keep it going. Now we're gonna move to our upper body. We're gonna do some T-spine twists, so some shoulder work. We're gonna move into it from our tabletop. So here we are on the tabletop. Go ahead and shift your weight into your right hand. So check out your fingertips. Are they nice and wide? Shift your weight into your right hand and lift your left arm up towards the sky. Reach, reach, reach. And I want you to thread the needle so you're bringing your left arm underneath your right. Bring your head down so your left ear should touch. All right, let's try to get into that again. Here we are. Shift your weight to your right hand. Reach your left arm up. Bring the left arm underneath. The back of that left shoulder comes down and your left ear comes down. So we're in this kind of funky twist with our upper body. You can keep your right hand by the side of your body here for support, or you can bring it up towards the sky and reach it towards your left hip, taking this little twist, or also known as a bind. So you should have your back of your left hand flat on the ground and just putting pressure into that left arm, that left shoulder. Should really feel it in the upper body. Make sure you're breathing. Couple more breaths here and we'll switch sides. Notice if your feet lift, try not to bring them up off the ground. Keep them flat, pushed into the ground. Good. Let's go ahead and inhale, right arm up. Exhale, bring it down to the ground. We're going to use that right hand to unwind and bring our left arm up towards the sky. Good. Inhale, exhale, release. We're going to do the other side. So this time, shift your weight into your left hand. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. And we're going to thread the needle. So the right arm is going to go underneath the left. Back of the right shoulder comes down. Right ear comes down. So we're in this twist, okay? Try not to let your feet touch. Your left hand could stay by the side of the body, or you could reach it up and around towards your right hip. Make sure to breathe here, a couple more breaths. Good, let's go ahead and unwind. Left arm up towards the sky and bring it back down. Right arm goes back up into the sky. Exhale, bring it back down. Very good. So that was our T-spine twist, or also known as the thread the needle posture. So let's go ahead and even and kind of recenter the body by moving through some more cat-cows. We're only going to go through 3. So inhale, cow pose. Exhale, under cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Good. Inhale, back to a neutral tabletop. So let's check out our key points. Are our fingers nice and wide? Our knees underneath our hips? Now we're going to move through some core activation. So shift your weight into your left hand. I want you to reach your right arm forward. Shift your weight into your right foot and lift the left leg behind you. So you're creating this straight line from your right fingertips out your left toes. So be sure we're doing opposite hand from opposite foot. We don't want to try to lift the same side. We'll probably topple over. Good. And finding a spot on the ground to focus on to help get your stability. Couple more breaths here. Breathe. Take an inhale and exhale, release. Good. Other side. Shift your weight into your right hand. Lift your left arm up. Shift your weight into your left leg. Lift your right leg behind you. So opposite hand, opposite foot. Breathe here. Find that spot to focus on. Couple more breaths. You should feel a little bit of heat rising in the body here. Inhale, exhale, bring it all down and take it back into a child's pose here. So our hips just go over our heels and our hands are up overhead. Let your forehead come down onto the mat. So this child's pose is a very restorative posture. It's a great posture to come down into if you need just a breather or if you need just a second to relax. Feel free to come on down. Couple more breaths here. Good. Inhale, take it forward, and we're going to do that again. Reach your right arm up, left leg behind you. Create that straight line. We want to feel strong in this posture. Good. Inhale, exhale, release it down. Let's switch side. Left arm up, right leg behind you. Strong through this right arm. It's pushing down into the ground. Our left shin is also pushing down. Nice and strong. A couple more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, release. Good. Take it back for a child's pose. Good. Inhale, take it back up. So what we're going to do is a modified lunge here. We're going to move it on to keep it going. So bring our left foot forward. Our right knee stays down. If you need a little bit of extra support for your knee, please do that. You can bring a cushion or perhaps a blanket or something to add a little bit of support if you need it. So our back foot is nice and flat on the ground. Keep that shin down. And then our left foot is planted into the ground as well. I want you to inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Act like you're holding a ball of energy here, nice and strong. Breathe, keep your core a little bit contracted there. Couple more breaths. Take an inhale, and then I want you to exhale as you sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. So your knee might be passing where your ankle's at. You should feel this in your right hip flexor as well. Still holding that ball of energy. You're doing great. Good. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the hands down. I want you to pull your hips back and point your left toes up towards the sky. So this is known as a half splits. So we should be high up on our our knee. We should be high up with our hip in the sky, right above our knee. And let's go ahead and look at our left toes and then begin to fold as much as you can into that front leg. If you need a little bit of support here, feel free to grab some books or some blocks and bring them right here to lift your torso up. That will help you just a little bit. If it's a little tight today and it's hard to reach the ground, please use some books or some kind of support to lift your body up. Couple breaths here. Good. Let's take an inhale, rebend that front knee. I want you to step it back, and we're going to do the other side. So our right foot comes forward. Our right foot is nice and flat on the ground. Left shin should be down. And it's going to bring the arms up overhead. Hold that energy ball. Nice and strong here. Couple breaths. Good. I want you to take a nice big inhale. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. So maybe our knee just passes our ankle just a bit. You should feel this in our left hip flexor. Doing great. Couple more breaths. Take an inhale and exhale. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot and go ahead and take the hips back. Again, our hips should be high. Our front leg should be straight. You should feel that on the back of the leg, the back of the right leg. This is a nice, good hamstring stretch. Again, if we need a little bit extra, stack some books here to bring you up, or maybe some blocks if you have any available. Don't feel like you need to touch the ground right away. And then just fold as much as you can over that top leg. You should really feel this in the back of the right leg. Shouldn't be hurting though, so if it's hurting, come on out of it just a little. Couple more breaths. Good. Inhale, take it forward. Go ahead and step that right leg back. Good. All right, great job everybody. We're gonna finish off with a little bit more core and then we're going to relax. So what we're gonna do is a boat pose. We're gonna start with the modified and then we'll work later on in the semester, we'll work up to the full version. To get started, I want you to just put your hands behind your back here, spine nice and long. So we don't ever really wanna be with a rounded back. Always keep that spine nice and long. And then just go ahead and lean back until your feet could come up off the ground. So this is great. This is a modified boat pose. You can bring your shins up, just parallel with the ground. If we can today, that's great. If not, that's perfectly fine. Breathe here. We're only gonna be here for about 5 more breaths. Stay lifted, feel the burn. You should feel a little bit of a heat sensation being created. Maybe a little bit in the core. Breathe, inhale, exhale, release. How did that feel? We're gonna do it one more time. So we're gonna bring the hands behind the back. Chest nice and puffed out. So go ahead and bring your hands behind your back, lift your heart, and go ahead and bring those feet off the ground. Maybe bring them a little bit higher this time, but do not compensate by rounding and curling. Keep the chest up. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Very good, everybody. And we are done with the hard part for today. So let's go ahead and find our way onto our back. So just lay it on down. I want you to bend your knees and keep your feet on the ground. And I want you to just windshield wiper your legs. Let them fall right to left. Couple more times here. Good. I want you to bring your knees in towards your chest, hold them with your hands. Just give yourself a nice little back massage here. So about 10 circles one direction. And then go and reverse the opposite direction here. Nice. And release. So I want you to just find a nice, comfortable position with your body, really as relaxed as you can. So finding our Shavasana. In Shavasana, we want to be completely still, so get out any fidgeting, any movement that you may need to get out, and do that so you can allow your body to fully relax. If you have any tension in the low back, feel free to bend your knees and keep your feet on the ground. That should alleviate some of that tension. And once you've found your comfy position, just close down the eyes. So we're just spending a few moments to allow our body to absorb what we just did. Allowing our body to rest just a few moments before we continue on with our day. Allow the mind to rest as well. So if your mind begins to wander, it's okay. Just bring it back to this moment. A tool that is very useful to help this, to help us bring our attention back, is our breath. So we're going to do the same thing that we did when we began class and use a little bit of visualization. So picking a color, it could be the same color, maybe a new color. And just begin to wash that color as it fills up your body with oxygen. So you want to watch it as it comes in through the nose, filling up the lungs, filling up the belly, filling up your body with air. And exhale. Watch this color as it is released back into the air. Let's take 5 more breaths here, watching that color move in through your nose, in through the chest and the belly, filling up the body. exhale is released out of the belly, the chest, and the nose. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Just allow your body to be still for just a little bit here, just about a minute or so. Not too often do we allow our body to just be still. So give yourself just a couple more moments here. Very good. Just begin to bring some movement back into the body. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Take your arms up overhead for a nice big stretch like you just woke up in the morning. And release. Very good. To find our way up, we're going to go ahead and roll over to the side and use your top hand to help you up to a seated position. And we are done for today. Thank you all for joining me for our class. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you feel a little bit more relaxed. Do not forget to complete the review questions after watching this video for your participation points. So with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, great week, and I look forward to our next class. Until then, bye-bye.